With us now just starting 2024, I thought there's no better option than my first video of the year giving some bold predictions. Now, disclaimer, these predictions are gonna be bold. I don't expect any of these predictions to end up being right. But if one of these predictions end up being right, I will do a victory lap, you best believe. Let's not waste any more time. My first bold prediction is the Boston Celtics won't win the championship this season. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. So far this season, the consensus is the Celtics are no question the best team in the Eastern Conference and the NBA, and they are clearly going to win the championship, with only two teams having a real chance of beating them, being the Bucks and the Nuggets. All of those statements are fair, and every metric, stat, or stuff you see about the Celtics, they appear as this juggernaut that is unstoppable. But I can see the Celtics disappointing in the playoffs again. The reason I believe this could maybe happen is how much the Celtics rely on shots from deep. They lead the NBA in shots from deep per game at 42.8. They shoot all these shots from deep despite their highest usage players, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis, all shooting 35% and below, and all of them are top 5 in attempts per game on the team. Their tendency to over-rely on shots from deep causes them to struggle in the clutch, leading their offense to become stagnant, forcing a bunch of shots from deep and neglecting taking a shot from inside the arc, which has been an issue the last 2 seasons. Going into the playoffs last year, the Celtics were viewed as the clear favorites, but this issue constantly appeared, leading them to struggle more than they should have, ultimately losing to the 7th seed Heat in the conference finals. If this issue rears its ugly head, I can see them not reaching the expectations everyone placed on them. My second bold prediction is the Hawks will trade Dejounte Murray at the trade deadline. It's clear since trading for him, the Hawks have been disappointing. The Hawks traded multiple first-round picks and a pick swap to get him, with the belief he would be the perfect fit next to Trae Young. Last season, they finished being the 7th seed with a 41-41 record, and right now they are multiple games below 500. Even though his counting stats are good, don't let them fool you. Dejounte has not been the player the Hawks thought they were getting. Offensively, he's nowhere near the level he was in his last season with the Spurs, which is clear with his offensive box plus minus. Dejounte had a 3.7 offensive box plus minus in his last season with the Spurs, but he has fallen drastically. He has struggled finishing at the rim this season, going from 69.7% last season to now shooting a career low. And defensively, despite having this reputation, he's a good on-ball defender. That's not the case. Dejounte nowadays consistently gets blown past when he's guarding the ball or falling for fakes, giving up easy driving lanes to the rim. To be real, he's a neutral, barely positive, or barely negative on-ball defender, which is clear in his defensive box plus minus the last 2 seasons. Not to mention, the Hawks gave Dejounte a contract extension during the offseason that will increase each season. The Hawks gave up a lot of draft capital for him, gave him a big contract, and they haven't got the return on their investment. I can totally see them trading Dejounte at the trade deadline, trying to recoup the draft capital they lost for him. My last bold prediction is the Raptors don't trade Pascal Siakam at the trade deadline. After the Raptors traded OG Anunoby to the Knicks, majority of people believe Siakam being traded at the deadline is inevitable, but I can see that not happening. While Siakam is an all-star level player, there's a major roadblock of him actually getting traded. Siakam is on the last year of his contract. Any team that did trade for him would be taking the risk that he could just leave in the offseason, and they traded for him for nothing. According to reports, if Siakam were to be traded, he would not sign a contract extension with the team, instead wanting to hit unrestricted free agency. That being the case, I can see Siakam not being traded at the deadline, with the potential return for him not being enough for the Raptors. I appreciate you watching this video. Let me know in the comments, do you agree with any of my bold predictions? And let me know yours. See you on the next one.